In this tutorial, we will be showing you how to place a listing on Ozgunbroker. You will need to be a registered member. Please go and register now if you are not already registered. You will need to be logged into your Ozgunbroker account. Please use the login text located on the top right corner of the front page. Now we should all be logged in. For this tutorial we will be starting from the front page. To get started we need to click on My Account. This is located on the top right side of the page, as you can see here. Once the page reopens you will be on your main My Account page. This is where you add new listings, monitor your active listings and much more. If you look to the left side of the page, you will see the left menu area. This is where you will find all your account tools. But for this tutorial we will be only looking at the Add an Item section. Just below the cart section you will see the Add Items heading. As you can see here, there are three options: New Auction, New Classified and Storefront Subscription. For this tutorial we are going to add an auction. Adding a classified is pretty much the same as adding an auction, but a few different choices to make through the process. Let's move on and click on the New Auction link, as shown here. When the page opens you will be on the Place an Auction page. On Ozgunbroker we use a simple one-page style to gather all the information about your auction. This just makes it a lot less steps to go through for the adding a listing process. We now need to choose the category we want to use for the item we are going to auction. Some categories may have more than one subcategory. This just means after you choose the main category you may be shown a list of subcategories to choose from. You just keep choosing subcategories until there are no more to choose from. For this tutorial we will show you the stages for adding a shotgun as a item. So we go ahead and click on Shotgun. As you can see here, the page will automatically regenerate and open up the subcategories of shotgun. As you can see here, we are adding a double barrel shotgun, so we will click on the double barrel subcategory, as seen here. Again, after we select the double barrel subcategory the page will regenerate the next lot of subcategories. This will only happen if there are subcategories. We will now select the over/under subcategory. As there are no more subcategories the page will not regenerate. Now that we have selected the category for our item, we can go ahead and add a title for our item. We suggest you be very clear and precise with your title. Include model number etc. so people will know instantly what you are selling. This will also make it easier for people to find your item if they are using the search functions. The next section you need to fill in is the description section. Again we suggest a very thorough description, so people know exactly what you are selling. You should list any special features or marks and things in this section. You can use the buttons etc. at the top of the description box. These can be used to highlight special parts. By bolding text etc. works very similar to a Word document toolbar. The next field you will see is the tags field. This should be used for any special keywords you may want to use for people to search for. Things like brand name, model number can be entered here, but you can leave this field empty if you like. The next section is the option type. For this tutorial we are going to use standard auction type. We don't want to go into too much detail about Dutch auctions in this tutorial, so if you do not know what a Dutch auction is, chances are you won't want to use it. We suggest clicking on the Help button beside this drop-down box or a Google search to find out more information on Dutch auctions. Next you need to choose the length of time your auction will run. This is a simple drop-down menu, so go ahead and choose your auction length as seen here. We are going to choose 3 weeks. The next field is the minimum starting bid. This can be as low or as high as you would like to start. Choose your starting bid and type it in. Remember you can set a reserve price, so this amount is just where you would like the bidding to start from. The next field is the reserve price field. If you do not want to sell your item for less than a specific amount, you can enter that amount in a reserve price field, and unless the bidding goes past the amount in this field your item will not be sold. This field must be higher than the starting bid price. The next field is the buy now price. If you have a price you are willing to accept immediately, you can add that amount here. If you place a price in this field and someone clicks the Buy Now button, your auction will finish immediately and this person is committed to buying the item at your Buy Now price. The next field is the shipping and handling field. This is for charging the person who buys your item the fees to get the item to them. Enter the total amount you want to charge. This will be added to the final price of the item. The next section is options for the buyer. You can add special selections for buyers to choose. For example, if you are selling t-shirts, you could add a size range for people to choose or colors. The choices are endless. Click the button and follow the instructions on how to add these item selections. The next field is the quantity of items and if the price is per item or for the entire quantity. The next field is for on-site payment methods. You can only use this if you have set your PayPal ID in your account area. The next area is for off-site payment methods. You can choose as many of these as you want. Please be sure that when you choose these payment types, that you actually have the means to accept them. For example, if you do not have the means to take payment directly off someone for a credit card, do not select these options. And if you are doing bank transfers, please understand you will have to send the buyer your bank account details. The next section is your contact information. Please make sure all the details are correct. Not all the information in this section is shown publicly on the Ausgunbroker website. The only information shown publicly is shortened versions of address etc. If you have a classified ad, your listed phone number will be shown on your listing. This is so people can contact you directly. The next section is additional questions. This area can contain many different questions. These questions usually are related to the category you selected. For example, you are not going to be asked how many cylinders your gun has, where on a vehicle listing you will be. We suggest you pay very special attention to this section and answer the questions correctly. For this tutorial we are showing the condition drop-down menu. Be sure to select the best option that describes the condition of your item. If you say the item is in better condition than it is, this may start a dispute with the purchaser, which may lead to problems with you posting further listings on the site. We are not showing it here, but there are some critical fields in this section if you are selling firearms. You must list the serial number of the firearm, unless it does not have a serial number, which you would choose the checkbox for no serial number. If you do not list a serial number on a firearm that should have one, your listing will be suspended. The next section is the mapping section. You can fill this section in, but at this stage the map is not displayed publicly on their website. The next section is for uploading your images of your item. You can upload up to 15 images, with the first 5 being free. To upload your images, simply click on the upload button, as shown here. Once you click on the button, your File Explorer window will open. You should now navigate on your computer to where you have your images saved. Now select the image you want to upload, like we have done here. Now simply click on the Open button, as shown here. After you click on the Open button, the website will upload and add your image to your image list. You can upload additional images by repeating this step over and over until you have all the images you want to add to your listing. The next section is for adding a YouTube video. You can add one free video to your auction. Simply follow the steps to add your video. The next section is for adding listing extras. These are paid extras that can make your listing stand out or be a fully featured listing. There are 3 extras you can choose. You can choose 1, 2 or all of these at once. It is up to you. The first one you can choose is the title bolding. This makes your listing stand out over a standard listing. The second option is the feature listing, as shown ticked here. This extra makes your listing fully featured. This means your ad will be shown in the feature listings sections of our website. This includes the front page and the top of all category pages. Depending on how many featured listings are currently available, listings are shown on a random basis. The final extra is the attention getters. These are simply small images that you can choose from to try and make your listing stand out. If you select this extra, you will also need to choose from one of the images in the box below the extras box. Simply place the dot in the radio button to the left side of the attention getter image you want to use. Well, that is the last of your auction options. If you look back to the center of the page below the attention getter images, you will see the finalizing buttons. You can select the preview button if you would like to see how your listing will look with the options you have selected. For this tutorial we are just going to move on to the next step by clicking the next step button, as shown here. When the page reopens you will be now on the checkout page. You should review all your charges and make sure you are paying for what you selected. This section shows what items you are paying for. This will be what you selected through the listing process. Then over to the right is the pricing for each of these selections. Once you are happy with your charges you can now click on the checkout button, as shown here. When the page reopens you will now be on the main checkout page. This is where you select your payment option. Right now Ozgunbroker only accepts payments by credit card, so this is selected by default, as shown here. If you now look below the payment type in the center of the page you will see two options. There is the submit order and back to cart. If you want to make any changes, click on the back to cart button, but if you are ready to pay, go ahead and click the submit order button now. You will now be directed to the Commonwealth Bank payment gateway. You can now choose your card type. At this stage we only accept MasterCard or Visa. Please choose your card type now. On the next page you will be asked to enter your credit card details. Please complete all the relevant fields, as shown here. Once you have entered all the information required, please click on the Pay button. Your payment will now be processed. After the payment has been accepted or declined, you will be taken back to the Ozgunbroker website. You will now see information about if your order was successful or not. If your order was successful your listing will now be active on the site. If you were declined for any reason your listing will be set aside for an admin to remove or contact you about payment. Well, that's it for this tutorial. We hope this makes it easier for you to place a listing. We have other tutorials on our knowledge base, so take a look if you need more help.